Hello, my name is Audrey. I just wanted to show you guys a quick and dirty, well, not too dirty, but pretty easy way of creating scenes between two characters in Skyrim, the Creation Kit. Typically, we're using the standard edition, but I'm sure this works for not even just Skyrim, but like also just like Fallout and Starfield and all the other Creation Kit games. They tend to work exactly the same, so I'm sure it would probably be the same process. So I have this quest here that has all the dialogue between two characters. As you can see, here's two examples that I've already made. And the first thing we need to do is, well, make sure your aliases are created. Right now we have two aliases for the two characters. They're unique actor aliases. So if I click these and load these up, you'll see they're unique actors that point to actor AFE Koanpa, which is one of my NPCs. We have optional, allow dead, stores text, and allow disabled. I typically just hit these as a sort of like just default for me. They tend to be the ones I use the most, so I always just make sure to click them. And we also have Haji, another character I've made. Now, this is also a unique actor pointing to AFE Haji, named Haji. And of course, as usual, optional, allow dead, stores text, and allow disabled in the top right. Now, what optional means is that this is an optionally filled alias, which means that the quest will keep running even if the alias isn't filled. This is more of a safety net for me, just so that there's no crashes or anything like that, just in case for the quest. And eventually it'll be filled anyway because we have the unique actor, so it shouldn't be a problem anyway. There are instances where you wouldn't want to click optional, but for now this is fine. Allow dead is exactly as you described, or as it is described, where it would allow a dead actor to fill this role. And since we already filled a unique actor, it's technically not too much of an issue. But if you want to say have a character who is dead fill this role, you would click this. Now, stores text means that we store the name of the actor. So actor would be named Haji. And that would make it so that we can use this in terms of like if we need to write the text in a note or a book or as a objective marker. And it would say, go talk to an alias Haji. Like it would display his name. Use of stored text would mean that this object would, of course, use that text, but since he's just an actor, we don't really need that. And allow disabled is, of course, this actor is currently not active in the world, but they are planted there, so that even if the actor is not inherently enabled yet, you can still fill it. Now, of course, essential is like you want to mark this NPC as essential, but you can do that through the actor thing. This is just like for this specific reference, while this actor is filling this role, they're marked as essential. And same with protected and quest object and all that. So that's good for now. We just need optional, allows dead, stores text, and not allow disabled. Next we'll go to MISC. And I already have it here, my idols, but normally you would right click, new topic, and then you see idle somewhere in this list. You would click the idle one. And these are the idols that they will say. Now, I have one here that leads to the scene I'll be making already. And it's Koanpa saying, "Oh, Haji, how have you been enjoying your last book delivery?" And this is important that it's an idle because this is what will trigger the scene to start playing. So they'll say the idle, and then the rest of the scene will carry out after that. This is more or less a catalyst to creating that scene, or starting that scene, I should say. So we have get as voice type, and the voice type is set to my NPC Koanpa, so that only she can say this. And then, of course, you don't need to do this last part, but I have a get random percent, and if there's the get random percent conditional will roll a random number between 0 and 100, I believe. And if it's equal to or less than 25, then it will continue to play this line. But if it is above 25, then it will not play the line. And that's just a way to kind of lower the chances of it saying so it doesn't get too repetitive. It's one of my go-to ways of doing it. Of course, we always have hours until reset, so you can only say it once every 24 hours, but even then, time tends to move fast in Skyrim, so it's good to have a random percent for me. Again, totally optional. Now, what's really important is that we have a script down here in the papyrus fragments. Now, this script will be very easy, don't worry. So I'll go ahead and just say if you don't have a script name right here, if you just put a semicolon in here and hit compile, it'll add a script fragment to this dialogue. And you'll need to, once you do that, click OK. Click OK again here. And just for good practice, it's good to save a lot, so we'll hit save. Open the quest back up. Go to the idle dialogue again. And now you can see that you'll be able to edit properties. Now, if you don't do the close out and then save and then open it back up, you won't be able to add any properties yet. I'm not sure why the Creation Kit does this. It's just the way it does it. But if you just close the windows, save, and then open them back up, you'll be good to go. So scene 1. Edit, we'll do here, and then we'll do Haji and Kawampa. Scene 1, which I've already made. And now I haven't made, have I made scene 3 yet? I guess I technically have, but I think I deleted it. So we'll go and create that scene now. So we'll fill this property first. We're going to add property. This is how you add the scene. I probably should have gone over this first. And under type, you'll type in scene. And you'll find it right here under reference alias. And I just name it simply. So I would put like scene 03, which I've already added, so I won't add it again. But you'll add scene 3 and make sure hidden and conditional are unchecked. Arrays unchecked. Excuse me. Drinking too much coffee. Now cancel that for me, but you'll click OK so that it adds the property. And then you would add your scene here once it's created. So let's go make that scene real quick. So we'll exit out again, just save, just for good measure, because I'm a habitual saver. And we'll click under here under scenes on this tab. And right here, we'll right click, click new, scene, Kawampa and Haji scene 03. This might already exist because I deleted it just to make it again for this tutorial. So we'll see if I have to rename it. Yeah, okay. So we'll do scene Haji and Kawampa scene 3. And we'll just leave out the 0 since I already made it. There we go. Now next, what you want to do is right click, new actor, and add the alias of the actors that you want to have talk to each other. So since Kawampa says the first, Kawampa says the first line, we'll have Haji speak first. And now this order doesn't matter in particular. I just like to have the order, kind of make sense in my head. So you can add Kawampa first or Haji first or whatever your character's name is. But for now, we're going to be adding Haji first. Right click, new actor. Then we'll add Kawampa. Then you'll see these 2 boxes here. We'll right click again, add phase at end. And what this is think of it as a timeline of events for how the scene plays out. Now in these scenes, rather in these phases, I should say, you can add things like packages to have the characters move to certain spots, or have them look in certain directions, play certain animations. But more often than not, you'll have them play certain dialogue. Now we'll right click here under Haji, or whatever your character's name is, new action, and dialogue. And then this will open up. And we want Haji to look at the other companion, Kawampa. So we'll do face target, head track target, Kawampa. Now if you wanted them to look at the player, you would just click head track player. But since we want them to look at Kawampa, we're choosing the alias. And that's what these are here. These would be your aliases. And you can have it start and end in certain phases. We only have the 1 phase, so there's only phase 1. But say you have a package where you want the 2 NPCs to walk towards each other, you'd put start phase 1, and then end phase would be whenever you want them to stop walking towards each other. So if you wanted them to just kind of walk off and talk to each other, you would just put this at the very end. And once they're done their conversation, they will leave and go back to doing what they were doing. Emotion type, I think, is just kind of like if I am reading it right, it is like the body language and stuff. So since this is Haji, he's kind of a muted, neutral person. So we'll just leave that as neutral and 0. Next, we'll right click under info and add new. And this will give us the dialogue that we want him to say. So we'll say, if I remember right, she said, how are you enjoying the book I gave you? Or this one gave you, I should say. She is a Khajiit. And Haji will say, this one has enjoyed getting lost in new worlds. And then that'll open up the topic info where you can add additional dialogue if you want them to say more than just the one sentence. And we'll go here, new, and we'll say, thank you. It is always a joy to explore books. Let's make it sound a bit more natural. It's always a joy when you I will say thank you. Thank you for always bringing this one new things to read. It truly makes Ajit's day. There we go. And we'll make him even have a little bit of happiness here. Like a little smile. Because he's a happy boy. And of course, if I need to mention this, the emotion value is just how strong or how strongly displayed the emotion is. So an emotion value of 50 is default. They'd be, pretty happy, pretty expressively happy. 15 is more subtle. And then like 75 or dare I say 100 would be like the biggest fucking smile you've ever seen in your life. They're elated. So that's about how strong the emotion type is displayed. Now down here, this is a very important part. We're going to right click new under conditions. And under condition item, we'll say click the get as ID, which should be the default, and type get is voice type. And that'll bring this up. Now, if you type too slow, it'll reset and start the whole thing over again. So you kind of got to type it a little bit fast. Or you can just scroll down and find get is voice type. Run on subject, which is the actor that, the other actor. And where it says invalid, we'll click that and choose the voice type for your character. Now, I have custom voice types made for these characters because they are unique, but you may have other ones. Like, for instance, there's like default Nord, default female, young, eager, stuff like that. But for now, since this is Haji, we will choose the Haji voice type. And this is, of course, again, one I've made myself. You can make your own right under here, under character, and then under voice type, if you need to make your own. And equals 1. So this means that the voice type of this actor equals 1, which means it is Haji's voice. So it will play this line. And that's mainly only important for, like, when you have multiple aliases in a scene and you need to distinguish between the voice types. But if you have a whole quest, like, dedicated to just one character, like, say it's like they're following dialogue, there's another way to do that. And I can just show you that at the end as a little free tip. But for now, we'll just put it here. So get his voice type, AFE Haji VT equals 1. There we go. And there we go. Dialogue has been added. Now, since that was kind of a lot, we'll just go ahead and click save again, just in case it crashes. Again, always good to save frequently. And if you if you click down here on show all text, it'll show the entire line instead of just abbreviating it. Now, this is good if you don't want all the clutter, but I do like to see the full line and context of it. Now we'll right click right off the side here and click add phase at end. And this will add a second phase. In the second phase, you'll have Koanpa speak. So right click on Koanpa or whoever your actor is, new action, and dialogue. Boom, there we go. And she's a happy cat, so we'll make her a bit happy and we'll put this at 25. And face target Haji, because we want her to look at Haji. Now we'll right click, new, and this will again create the dialogue for her. Response text. Now what do we want her to say in response? This one is so happy to hear. And she's a very happy cat, so happy, emotion value 50. And right here we'll do the same thing, get is voice type, and this time we'll get Koanpa's voice type, because she's the character we were using. Books are the ultimate way of, let's say, what would she say to this? Books are the widely, there we go, available for all to enjoy. I'm glad I could bring you such light. Yeah, we'll shorten this a bit. So we'll say, this one is so happy to hear. Oh, and they wouldn't say I. That's right. She's a Khajiit. I always get that mixed up. I always forget my linguistic quirks for Khajiit. This one is so grateful to be able to bring you such joy. Reading is a wonderful thing. There we go. I'll do happy, and we'll say, she's starting to wind down, so we'll give her a 25 here. Edit this a bit. I'm being a little picky about my grammar here. Reading is a wonderful thing. There we go. And again, because I love to save, I'm going to go ahead and save again. And then open that quest back up. One more thing. I do want to change. This one is grateful. We'll say Khajiit, just to change it up a bit. Normally I wouldn't be too picky about the dialogue, but since this is for an actual thing I'm working on, I do want it to be succinct. There we go. Now we'll right click here, add phase at end, new action, dialogue. And this will be for Haji again. This one is glad to have a caring cat like you in Tamriel. You worked so hard to deliver these books to people who would otherwise have no way to get them. We'll break this up into 2 lines because it's a bit long. So we'll do that, and then we'll right click down here under responses, new, and then he'll say the second part right down here. Alrighty. And now one more time, get is voice type. Voice type Haji equals 1. Yes. Boom. There we go. And then again, because I love to save, we'll save again. And then finally, we'll have Kawampa's final response, I think. New action, dialogue under Kawampa. You know the drill by now. This one is, or we'll say, Kawampa. Did they say their name in third person? I'm not entirely sure. So we'll say, Khajiit is honestly flattered and a bit blushy. You are so sweet to her. You are too sweet. And we'll say she is very happy here because she is a flustered cat. Thank you, Haji. This one is more than happy to spread. And she works for an archive, so we'll probably mention the archive here. And my cat's here. Everyone say hi to Zaphod. All right, and this will be the final one. So boom, there we go, and boom. And then another thing I realized we forgot to do for that one, at least, was face the target, Haji. And did we do that for this one? We did not. So face the target, Kawampa. And then down here, face target, Haji. Okay, we're good. We'll save again. Now I'm going to show you the bit of scripting that I mentioned before, where we already made the script fragment. Now we just need to know what to put in there. And we also made the variable that we'll put this scene in. So if we go back to MISC, under idles, we'll go to that one line that we created where we want the scene to start. And we created the script fragment right here by putting the semicolon. And we also created the property that we want to put the scene in. So if we click properties, and we'll see where we put scene 03, or for you, it may be 01, 02, whatever scene you're working with. And we can choose the scene we want to start when this line is said. So we'll say Haji and Kawanpa, scene 3. That's the scene I want. Click OK. And right here, we're going to call in that property, scene 03. Now dot, to facilitate that we are using this scene and the information stored in it. And we'll just type start with 2 parentheses at the end, signaling it's a function. Now I won't go too much into details on how scripting works. It is quite the Pandora's box, or it can be if you're not too well acquainted, and that's well outside of the scope of this video. This is the only line we need right now. So the name of the scene variable that you created, and then a period, and then start in parentheses, and it'll click compile. And now when this scene is said, it'll start scene 03. Wonderful. Click OK. Now we don't have any dialogue for this scene, so I'm going to go ahead and record some dialogue real quick, and I'll be right back. So don't move. We'll be moving on in just a second. We're back and better than ever. So I went ahead and recorded the lines, and I'll go ahead and show you how to plug them in while I'm here. And I already went ahead and did my usual rigmarole of editing up the audio files so they sound nice. And this is, of course, my questionable Khajiit accent. Oh,
this
Haji.
one has.
Oops. Oh, Haji. How have you been enjoying your last book delivery? But it's good enough for now. So we'll go ahead and take these lines, and I'll just put this on my other monitor for now. But we have first off, the idle line that we created that actually starts the scene. It'll go down to voice and file name. Now, you need to create a folder in your sound, your data, sound, voice, and then under the mod name, and then under the character's voice type. However, the easy way that I do this is I would click record, and then just record a random noise. It doesn't need to be anything because you're going to just delete it in a second anyway. And then when it's done, click save, and that'll create the folder for you. And you would find said folder under your Skyrim Special Edition, data, then you'd go to sound, voice, under your mod's name, and then you'd see the voice type of that character right here. Now, you only need to do this once to create the folder, so thankfully you don't have to do this every time, but I already have my Kawanpa voice type folder here, and these are all our lines and all of your lip gen files. And we'll go ahead and highlight the voice file name, click Control-C, and we'll go to Audacity, highlight the first line, export audio, paste it right in there, make sure the folder it's exporting to is the correct voice type folder. Now you want this to be mono and 44,100 Hertz and 16-bit PCM. Those are very important because that is what Skyrim recognizes when doing the lip gen and also playing the audio in general. And since this is just the one file, we'll do current selection. And then we'll click export. And that is all you have to do for that. So then next, we'll just do, go down the line, do the rest of the lines. So we'll go to the scene finally, scene 3, and we'll grab Haji's line. And his first line is here. And I won't record, I'll speed this up obviously, but we'll just go ahead and speed it up now. So I'll go ahead and put these in. You already know the process. Okay, so we went ahead and now we are fully, put the voice lines in, exported them properly. It takes a bit of time, but, there's multiple ways to pet a cat. I'm sure there's easier ways to do it. So next thing you want to do is go through the voice lines and click on them. Click down here on the voice type. Now click under here where it says generate lip file from WAV and generate lip file. And that'll generate the lip sync for you. I have a plugin of sorts for the creation kit that lets you generate them all in bulk, which I will leave in the description for anyone who's curious about that. But I highly recommend that. Otherwise, you'd have to do that and just do it for like each and every single individual one, which gets rather annoying, but on this individual case of just a few lines, we can do it for now. Boom, there we go. And that should be everything. Now you should have a brand spanking new scene that'll play between these two characters when they're... That's another thing. Is another condition I have for this quest is they only say these lines when they're in a certain radius of each other. So right now I have it at 512, and if get distance alias Koanpa is within alias Haji by 512 units, it has a chance to play this dialogue. Otherwise, they'll just kind of play randomly and it gets a little weird, but that's a good condition to have on the entire quest. Now, with these conditions here, the quest dialogue conditions, I should say, is that these conditions need to be met for this quest dialogue to run at all. This is an overarching thing. So it's not just like on an individual line basis, but rather this is auto-applied to all lines. So that's why I have it here. Now we'll just double check our work. Go to MISC. Scene 3 start. Just compile that one more time just in case. Now we'll make sure our variables are filled. Yes, okay. And make sure this one's filled just because I'm a little paranoid. And I love Creation Kit crashing. There we go. All right, we're good. And okay. And we'll save. Now let's get in the game and test this out. Oh, Haji. How have you been enjoying your last book delivery? This one has enjoyed getting lost in new worlds. Thank you for always bringing this one new things to read. It truly makes Khajiit's day. This one is so happy to hear. Khajiit is so grateful to be able to bring you such joy. Reading is a wonderful thing. This one is glad to have a caring cat like you in Tamriel. You work so hard to deliver these books to people who would otherwise have no way to get them. Khajiit is honestly flattered, and a bit blushy. You are too sweet. Thank you, Haji. This one is more than happy to deliver the books from the archive. And there we have it. The brand spanking scene works perfect. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. Oh, go on, Pa. We got another one. Yes, Haji? This one is curious. How long have you been a courier? Oh. Maybe a year or two now? This one typically finds itself all over Tamriel. It's hard to keep track of the time. To be honest, it feels like nothing more than the blink of an eye. They often say, time flies by if you're having fun. This is true. Though while fun, Khajiit does miss her home. But these books won't deliver themselves. This one hopes you are able to visit home soon. What the fuck was that? You're shooting arrows. I'm busy over here. I'm trying to record a video. Anyway, I hope you guys have fun. Good luck with everything. If you have questions, let me know. And happy creating.